welcome back to another episode of the Royal Reset Podcast. We out here. We out here, Your Majesty. This is episode 17. Yeah. So proud of me. So proud of me for doing something that I've always wanted to do. Because you know I can talk, girl. You know I can talk. So I'm proud of me for being out here doing what I love to do. So yes, yay me. Hello, Your Majesty. Look at you, Queen. You're looking good. Okay? You're looking fabulous. Even in your house clothes. I see you up there getting ready and prepped and prepared for the new week. You're still looking gorgeous, Your Majesty. Tell me, Queen, how are you doing today? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, Your Majesty, that's what I love to hear. I'm glad things are going well for you. I'm glad we are here and able to sit down and chat as always. Go ahead and prop me up in your kitchen and your living room and your laundry room, wherever it is you need to do your chores for the week, whether you're meal prepping, cleaning, doing laundry. I'm here, Queen. Let's chat. And hopefully you'll allow me the next 45 to an hour to inspire and motivate you as you prepare for your new week. Yeah? Alrighty, so how am I doing? Girl, I'm doing way better than I was doing last week. Yes. Okay, so the expense reports still haven't been approved, but that's okay because the issue is null and void, is not an issue, is not a problem. That manager's just slow on approving shit. Unfortunately, but it's all good. We don't have to worry about the amount that was spent because again, they don't give us a limit. But as long as I don't reach the limit where I'm getting flagged and I haven't reached that limit, I should be juicy couture. So I'm good. I'm Gucci. I'm up for a raise and a promotion. So I did all of my interviews for that and they went really well. There were 5 interviews in total, back to back to back to back on Thursday. 2 of them were like real interviews and the other 3 were like, this is stupid. I don't know why we're doing this. We want you. I don't have any questions for you because I've already seen your work ethic. So like, I don't know why we're here, but let's talk about how what you think. What do you think we can do to improve? Oh, let me tell you this, that, and that. No, I'm joking. But yeah, so I'm doing way better than I was doing last week. My anxiety is gone and I'm ready to move forward, push forward. Yes, Queen. So last week, we spoke about your goals for the week. We spoke about where we really just went over all the concepts and tools and activities that we have discussed in the first 15 episodes of the Royal Reset Podcast. We pretty much reviewed all of those. We got down and dirty in the 3 books that I have been living by this year, which is Think and Grow Rich, Psycho Cybernetics, and A Happy Pocket Full of Money. We reviewed those 3 books and all the things that we learned from those books. And we spent pretty much our last conversation just really diving deep into those books and what we've learned and really just checking in with each other to make sure, keeping accountability with each other, making sure that we're doing the things, because it's all good and dandy when we read about them. It's all good and dandy when we hear about them. But reading and hearing about them isn't going to change our lives and help us reach our goals, right? We have to actually apply what we learn, right? So that's what we spoke about last week. And you told me there were some things that you hadn't applied yet and that you wanted to apply. Yes, yes. And I told you I had some goals, but first let's check in with you. How did you do last week? Were there any setbacks? Were there any roadblocks? Tell me everything, Your Majesty, and go. Yes, I am so proud of you. Your Majesty, I say it every week, and I know I sound like a broken record, but like, I mean, you are who you are. Such a magnificent queen deserves to be told and reminded every week that you are amazing. You really are. I am so proud of you. Do you know how many people wish they had the courage to do what it is that you're doing, going after your goals every week? Slay. Slay, Your Majesty. Slay. You are out here killing the game, even with setbacks and roadblocks, even with negative Nancy's and Debbie Downers in your ear talking that mess. You are still out here doing what 99.9% of people are just too scared to do. And that is going after your goals and your dreams. And I just know you are going to make it. You're already making it. You are already somebody right now, Your Majesty. But my God, when you reach that full potential, you are going to be unstoppable. Yes, Your Majesty. I can see it. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Okay, so for me, the anxiety got to me this week. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna cap. I did say that I wanted to get back to my 75 hard, even though I'm on a break. We're on a break for another 9 days, right? And last weekend, I found out that the app is actually counting down my break. Yeah, yeah. So I have 9 days left of my break before phase 2 of Live Hard starts. And phase 2 is just the normal 75 hard tasks. So that's 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes, both of them. One must be outside. Choose a diet, any diet, stick to that diet, no cheat meals, no alcohol, 10 pages of a self-help or nonfiction book, a gallon of water every day, and a progress photo, right? Those are the only 5 things I need to do once phase 2 starts in 9 days. However, I did say last week I wanted to start that back up, right? And just, I had 2 weeks to rest and relax. Now let's get back to it. I went the opposite direction. Yeah, on Friday night after 4 p.m., right? I was feeling a little celebratory. Not a little, a lot celebratory because, raise, promotion, finally getting paid what I'm worth. So I ordered pizza, had me some Doritos, had me some ice cream, had me some Mountain Dew, and pigged out after 4 p.m. Because remember, the diet that I chose was intermittent fasting. So this was around 6 p.m. in the evening after work. And I had all those things and it was delicious. It was great. And I also realized that I am not that person anymore. Yeah, I barely got any sleep Friday night. Woke up with a dry, stank cotton mouth. Ugh. No. And then the pizza wasn't even that great. First of all, Little Caesars got my order wrong. Pizza came dry. I'm a person who likes sauce, okay? I need my food to swim. If it's not swimming, it ain't good. Right? And so Little Caesars gave me the normal amount of sauce, which for me is dry pizza, right? And then on top of that, I always order 2 cups of extra sauce on the side because sometimes they do that, right? Some people don't know what extra means. They don't that like it doesn't compute in their psyche. So the DoorDasher forgot my extra sauces. Yeah, so I came prepared because I bought some pizza sauce when I went out and bought the ice cream and stuff because I just knew they was going to mess up like that, but still, it just, that's not me anymore. The person who would just pig out on a Friday night, it's just not me. I didn't like it, didn't feel good afterwards. And now I think I'm really and truly ready to get back to it. So I still have 9 days left of my break, but we're going to cut it short tomorrow at 8 days. And I do have access to the gym at work now. And so we're going to start working out at the gym at work. No more walking. We'll still walk on weekends, but no more walking as the only working out that I'm doing. We're going to step up our gym game, step up our diet game. And yeah, the goal is to have the same thing every single day at the same time in between the hours of 8 and 4, Monday through Friday. So the only days that'll be different, Saturdays and Sundays. So yes, goal was not achieved this week. As far as reading, I barely did any reading either, Your Majesty. Yikes. Yeah, yeah, the anxiety got the best of me this week. Now that I think about it, it was a great week, and I wasn't anxiety ridden. I was just, taking care of me, giving myself some grace, taking care of me, and just focusing on the next step. And so the expense reports are good, and Gucci, and good to go. And did my interviews and got through those, even though I was terrified the entire time. But it ended up being okay, not that bad. So yes, goals were not reached. However, we still made progress. So I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back for that. Yes. Now let's talk about this week's 4B Queen of the Week. Drum roll, please. This week's Queen of the Week is going to be none other than Jackie Asmoa, formerly known as Jackie Aina. We love Queen Jackie in this household, okay? I have been following Jackie Aina since her YouTube days in 2016, okay? Jackie Aina told me how to put on makeup. She taught me how to wear heels. And Jackie Aina taught me that as a Black woman, I can still wear pink, bright pink, bubblicious pink lipstick if I want to, as long as I have a brown eyeliner or lip liner. So yes, love me some Jackie Aina. And as soon as I switched over, it took me a while to get on the TikTok wave. But as soon as I got into TikTok around 2020, she was one of my first follows. And I love her lifestyle content. I love her perfume content. I love her candle content because I'm a candle hoe. I am a candle hoe. I don't have any Forever Mood because I don't know why I don't have any Forever Mood candles. I got to give you some Forever Mood candles. But, that smells so good. My altar is right next to my bed. So, I'm always lighting candles, okay? Always lighting up my this is Palo Santo sage, this is what I use to burn on. So, I'm a candle hoe for real. So I love candles. Why do I like more of this is Moonlight Citrus. The candles that I like to light are candles that I use in my spiritual practices. And I like a sage candle, which I have over there, an ocean wave smelling candle, and then citrusy candles. And so from what I heard, Forever Move it's more like a lifestyle home smell good type of situation. And they don't have any of those flavors. So yeah, I have to check in on Forever Mood and see if they have any sage citrusy. She's got to have a citrus. I'll check. But that's the only reason why I don't have any Forever Mood candles. However, I do keep that thing on me all the time. Yes. And so we're talking Jackie Aina this week because she did release a new flavor of her Forever Mood fragrances called She Was Here. I smelt it yesterday at Sephora. It smells incredible. Very delicious, very sophisticated, very expensive. That's what her fragrances give. Expensive, even though like they're not that expensive. It's $28 for one of these and $78 for a full bottle. So, you know, but I'm a candle hoe, I'm a jewelry hoe, and I'm a vanilla hoe. So I keep this thing on me. This is hard to get. This is her vanilla fragrance. And so I was running low. And so although she's hard to get, or this is hard to get, She Was Here does have vanilla milk in it. This just smells like, oh, this right here is like a vanilla gourmand queen's wet dream. Like it just smells like fresh baked cookies, like something you just want to, right? Oh, I love it so much. So yes, I just re-upped on that, and I put my perfume on the go. So that's why I always get the on the go sizes. But congratulations, Jackie, on the new fragrance. I am so proud of you. I cannot wait to see what you do moving forward with Forever Mood, what new fragrances you drop, because I also love the NDA. Okay, that NDA, I can spray some of that in the morning, and by 5-6 p.m. at night, without any follow-up sprays, I'm still smelling like NDA. Yeah. And I got that inkling feeling when I was spraying on She Was Here yesterday as well. Like they just they just smell so good and they last all day. So shout out to you, Jackie Aina. Can't wait to see what you do moving forward. If you want to bless the girls, you can bring back your Jackie Aina Anastasia. Was it Anastasia Beverly Hills? That palette, that eyebrow palette, yeah, that eyelash palette, that not eyelash, eyebrow, eyeshadow palette. You can bring that back for the girls. You know, do a part 2 for the girls who were broke at the time when you first dropped the palette and couldn't get it. You know, if you wanted to bless the girls, you know. But I know we're matured and we're doing our own thing. We're running our own business. So, you know, it might not be in the future for you, but if you ever wanted to bless us, like Beyonce with the Formation World Tour DVD, Jackie Aina was bringing back that palette. Making your own, I got money now to spend. So whenever you want to bless us, I'm here, I'm ready, and I will be there. Yes. Alrighty, so let's hop into the main topic for today. Okay, episode 17 of the Royal Reset podcast, and we have not talked about my favorite TV show yet. And so on Friday, while I was pigging out, I was watching it and I was like, oh, after discussing accountability, I think this episode right here would fit perfectly into our conversations and help us take what we've learned and move forward. Today, we're going to talk about fear. We're going to talk about how to do it even in the face of fear, right? And we're going to discuss fear by using one of my favorite TV show, which is Bob's Burgers. A cartoon, okay? Adult animation, first of all. I don't like the term cartoon. I like to say adult animation. If you're not on the Bob's Burgers wave yet, what is wrong with you? It's such a feel-good TV show, okay? The Belchers, how can you not love them? They are so heartwarming, and each of them are just themselves. And Bob is just that's my homie. I love me some Bob Belcher, okay? So if you have never heard of or have never watched Bob's Burgers, let's talk about what it is. Bob's Burgers is a TV show about a family, the Belchers, who run a restaurant called Bob's Burgers. And they live above their restaurant. So it's like a oceanfront property that has the restaurant at the bottom and at the top their apartment, right? And Bob is married to Linda Belcher, so Bob is all about burgers, okay? He's wanted to have his own burger shop since he was a kid. And so he's all about, creating his different burgers of the day every day that are little cute puns of, food, food puns that he creates a different one every single day. He's all about just feeding the people. That is his goal. That is his vision. That is his purpose in life. He just loves to cook and feed the people through his restaurant, Bob's Burgers. He's married to his wife, Linda Belcher, who is about wine, singing horribly off key, but we still love her anyways, and taking care of her family, which is her husband, Bob, and her children. Their children are Tina Belcher, Jean Belcher, and Louise Belcher. Louise Belcher is my spirit animal. Yes. But let's talk Tina Belcher first, the oldest. She's into boys. She's into zombies. She's into writing erotic friend fiction. But she's also someone who plays by the rules. She's a hall monitor at school, and she don't know how to twerk. She's you see the back. She likes to shake her back, but she loves boys, and she loves boys' butts. Yeah, and she's a great big sister. Then we got Gene Belcher, who is your typical boy, likes to make fart noises and to produce farts. Smellier, the better. He is also a musician. He loves to play his little keyboard piano that makes fart noises and burp noises and, write songs and things of that nature. He also likes to write plays and musicals. So, yeah, that's Jean Belcher. And then you have Louise, who is just the bee's knees. She is a little girl who wears bunny ears every single day, a bunny ear hat every single day. And she's known for her bunny ears. She is feisty. She is smart as all get out. Very dominant. Very how else do you describe her? Very she's the mastermind, right? She is the youngest, but what she says goes. Okay, she'll say, "Mama," she calls herself Mama. You listen to Mama. Okay, when the kids are scheming up, putting together schemes and plans, she's the one who's coming up with those schemes and plans and helping the folks execute. Right. So she also is a softie at heart, and she is a daddy's girl. Loves her some Bob Belcher, even though if you ask her outright, she's gonna deny it. And she's most likely going to be the person who takes on Bob's Burgers, the restaurant, after Bob retires. Low key, high key, she is going to continue the family business, right? So that is all the different characters. There's also Teddy and other folks too, but this is who we're talking about today. So the episode we're talking about is season 10, episode 20. And in this episode, it starts off with Louise, who is usually, she's a kid who doesn't care about school. She is in detention every week. She likes to pull pranks. She likes to drive Mr. Frond, who is the school counselor, up the wall insane every day at school. However, she actually buckled down and studied super hard to get the highest grade on a spelling quiz at school so that she could win a prize. The prize was to help feed sharks at the class's sleep in at the aquarium. So the class, her whole fourth grade class, had an overnight field trip coming up called a sleep in at the local aquarium. And during that during that field trip, the person who got the highest grade on the spelling quiz got to help the aquarium lady feed the sharks. And this is something that Louise wanted. And so she buckled down, studied real hard, and got the highest grade in the class. And so the episode starts with her coming into the restaurant after school with Jean and Tina, talking about, I am the master of sharks. And Linda and Bob are like, yay, congratulations. But Bob is also like a little skeptical. He's like, why, I love this, but why are you so excited about school? And so Louise explains, I'm excited because it turns out that if you focus down and study real hard, you can get a good grade and you can reach your goal of getting the highest grade in the class so that I can feed sharks. And then so she's super excited about that. And then Bob has the nerve, the gall, the audacity to bring up something. Her and he are afraid to poop outside their house. They do not like to use public restrooms to go number 2. And so he's like, I'm shocked that you're so excited to go on this field trip, Louise, because, we don't like to poop in public restrooms. And she's like, it shouldn't be a problem. I'll just poop before I go to the overnight, and then I'll go and then feed sharks. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And Bob just can't let it go. He's like, are you sure? Are you positive? Because, like, this could end up being an issue. And he gets into my girl's head. And so this is a conversation they're having on Monday. The overnight isn't until Friday. But all week, my girl is so scared that she's going to have to do number 2 at the aquarium that she's backed up. Poor baby. Every time she goes to the restroom, she can't go. Nothing comes out. And so by Wednesday night, Bob pulls her aside and he's like, I know how we can fix this issue, get this under control. We got to bring out the big guns, laxatives. And so he and Louise go to the drugstore late at night and they get so many laxatives, right? And they come back to the house and he gives her one after the other. I think she takes like 3 different laxatives. This is Wednesday night. Still doesn't work. By Friday night after school, the laxatives still haven't done their thing. She still hasn't pooped. And so by this time, Linda is talking to Bob while the kids are at school. And she's like, you're not even trying to talk her into using a public restroom. You're just trying to, you're just enabling this fear of using public restrooms. And Bob is like, well, I'm sorry, you poop everywhere. Can just poop in a bucket if you need to, but that's just not how we do it. That's just not how we are. And so they get into a little tit for tat, but Bob realizes that she might be right. It might be time to encourage Louise, if she needs to, if the laxatives hit while she's at the aquarium, to just go ahead and take care of it at the aquarium. So on the way to the aquarium with Louise in the car, by this time, my girl, her stomach feels like lead. And she knows it's coming, but she just doesn't know when it's going to hit. And she's terrified that it's going to hit while she's at the aquarium, right? But her stomach hurts, feels like lead. She's just, poor baby is backed up, right? And so Bob tells her, it may be time to start thinking about using the restroom at the aquarium if it comes to that. And like I said, Louise loves her father. She is a father's girl. She's a daddy's girl. If you ask her that, she's going to deny it straight out. But she's like, I thought we were in this together. Are you seriously turning on me right now? I thought we were a team. We did the laxatives together. We bonded over this. And you're turning against me? And he's like, no, I'm just trying to help. And she's like, no, let me go. And she walks into the aquarium, upset, angry at her dad for abandoning her. And their, poop at home, only poop at home little team. And again, still stomach hurting, ready to let it all go, but can't, right? They get into the aquarium. LeBons, who is her teacher, the 4th grade class teacher, introduces them to the aquarium lady, and the aquarium lady pulls out the agenda for the night. They're not immediately feeding sharks, unfortunately. First, they're going to go find a place to sleep in the aquarium, find the corner that you want to sleep in. Then they're going to do a tour of the entire aquarium. Then they're going to eat dinner. And after the humans eat dinner, that's when they're going to feed the sharks. And Louise can help her feed the sharks. And she's like, oh, okay. All right. I don't know if I'm going to make it. And so they go about doing the things, and it's time. It's time. The laxatives have worked through her system, and it's time to get these things going. Unfortunately, she's at the aquarium. They haven't fed the sharks yet. She is like, damn. And she calls Bob, and she's like, I need you to come pick me up because I have to go, and I'm not going here. So Bob comes, and it's so sweet. He's like, just so you know, you can always call me and I'll always come and get you, whether it's at a field trip, whether it's at, your honeymoon. I'm always here. College, I'm always here to come and get you. And so they're getting ready to drive off after getting in the car in front of the aquarium. And Louise says, hold on, wait. I'm missing out on feeding sharks. And this doesn't feel good. I think I want to go back and at least try to go at the aquarium. And so even though she's scared, even though she's terrified of using public restrooms, she walks back into the aquarium because her fear, her goal of feeding sharks is more important to her than her fear. And so she walks into the aquarium. Her and Bob are looking at the female male bathroom side by side. And he's like, you know what? She's seeing all these people, all these kids walking in and out of the bathroom. And she's like, you know what? I'm starting to get a little scared again. Starting to think about going home again. And Bob is like, you know what? What if I do it with you? We'll go together. Team poops at home. We'll poop in the public toilet. You and me, let's do it. I'll go male, you go female. Let's get it done. And she's like, you know what, Dad? Let's poop this. And so they go and they do their business. And at the end of the episode, she gets to feed sharks and realize her dream, her goal of feeding sharks. And this is just such a great example of how fear, if we allow it to, can stop us from reaching our goals, from reaching our dreams, from living our best lives. I'm not going to give you the whole fear is acronyms and craziness of that. I'm just going to say that fear is real. Everybody feels it. It's not something that is unique to you. It's not something that is unique to me. It's not something that's unique to Louise Belcher. Fear is something everybody feels. It's part of the game. It comes with the territory, especially when you're doing something different, when you're stepping outside of the box, especially if you're someone who has a goal or a dream that's never been done before. There's going to be lots of fear involved because you're going against the grain. Everyone else is going this way and you're going that. Everyone's going left, you're going right. It's going to be scary. It's especially going to be scary, and I say this to you every week after we discuss how you your progress for the week in reaching your goals and reaching your dreams. Right? I always tell you that there are so many people who would rather be complacent in their life than face the fear of uncertainty. There are so many people who would rather live a life that they know they hate, that they're unhappy in, that they know they deserve better than, because it's known. They know when they wake up the next day exactly what's going to happen because they're not changing anything, right? But you and I are different. We are terrified, right? But we still go out and we still do the things that are different. We still make the changes that we need to make and go after our goals and our dreams, even though we don't know what each day is going to look like. And that is huge. That is tremendous. So fear is a part of the game. It's a part of the process of going after and reaching for your goals and your dreams. Fear is inevitable, especially when you're going against the grain and going after your goals and your dreams and making changes in order to improve your quality of life. If you have not felt fear yet on your journey towards reaching your goal and your dreams, I'm here to tell you that it will be coming. It's just a part of the game. If you're feeling fear right now, I am here to tell you that you are not alone. Everyone who has been in your shoes on a similar journey as you in reaching their goals and their dreams has faced similar issues, similar feelings of being terrified of moving forward. So, because we know that this is a part of our journey, I think it's important for us to go over ways that we can move forward through the fear, even though we are terrified. But first, what does fear look like? Fear looks like anxiety. Fear looks like procrastination. Fear looks like, can almost sometimes feel like a panic attack. And fear looks like reverting back to old habits because they're comfortable. Even though those old habits aren't conducive to the new you that you are building, the new life that you are creating for yourself, they don't come with fear. They come with the known, which is comfortable, which is which feels good in the moment, at the time, right? And so we revert back to old habits in order to escape that fear. This is what fear feels like. So fear as anxiety. Anxiety is literally fear of the future. What could happen? What might happen if we move forward, right? And so how do you push through anxiety? Those are the tools that we have been discussing that are so simple, so easy, such cliches that we hear about all the time, but we don't use them because they're so simple, so easy, such cliches that we hear about all the time. So, like, why would we pay attention to them? But I'm telling you, as I've told you over the last few weeks, that doing simple things every day, like practicing meditation, practicing journaling, practicing prayer, and controlling your mind with affirmations, and restructuring and reconfiguring your mind to focus more on positive things than negative what ifs, will help you in dealing with anxiety. Now, these are tools that you can use if your anxiety is not something that is completely paralyzing you, right? Sometimes, if you deal with anxiety, you need to speak to somebody and you need to get medical aid, which is anxiety medication. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If that is what you need, do it. There are so many people who are on anxiety medication and they are doing so much better in life because of it. Sometimes there's just a chemical wire that is crossed in our brains, and we need additional help in order to uh, work through our anxiety. So that is an option for you if all these other tools aren't working. But I'm telling you, Your Majesty, spending time every day working on your mental health through meditation, through journaling, through affirmations, positive affirmations, and rewiring, restructuring, reframing your inner critic to think more positive than negative can do wonders to help you work through anxiety. Procrastination is where you are so terrified of what may or may not happen that you decide to put it off, right? Procrastination doesn't always mean that you're lazy, Your Majesty. Sometimes it just means that you are terrified of what could happen when you finally sit down and you do this thing, right? And so instead of doing it right now and getting it done, you put it off until tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. And all that is doing is delaying you living your best life. All that's doing is preventing you from living the life you deserve to live. You're just putting off you until tomorrow. So how do we work through procrastination? We get it done. We psych ourselves up. That's what I do. Because let me tell you, in college, even now as an adult, me and procrastination be like this, you know? So the best way that I can work through my procrastination is I psych myself up to do it. I trick myself into doing it. And how do I do that? I listen to music. I have a power playlist that I create every single year. That's what I call it. My power playlist for 2020, my power playlist for 2023, for 2024, 2025. I listen to my power playlist, and on my power playlist, I have songs that make me feel like the boss bad that I am. And they get me hyped up, ready to go and get the thing done. So I put on my power playlist and I listen to Formation by Beyonce. I listen to Just Like Magic by Ariana Grande. I listen to Queen by Janelle Monáe. I listen to Money by Cardi B. I listen to Moment for Life by Nicki Minaj. I listen to Stronger. There's two versions. You can listen to Stronger by Kelly Clarkson or Stronger by Christina Aguilera. Both of them hit. Fighter by Christina Aguilera. Ooh wee. Yes, yes, yes. I listen to Survivor by Destiny's Child. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. It's almost like you're preparing to go out and play a game of football, or you're preparing to go out on stage. This is what I do before I go out on stage. When I was doing vagina monologues in college, I did it 2 years in a row. Before I went out on stage to give my monologue, I would play in my head Formation by Beyonce and just psych myself up, get myself ready to go out there and perform. Listen to your power playlist. Put together a power playlist and listen to your power playlist. Songs that make you feel like the queen that you are, and go out there and slay. Get it done, Your Majesty. Because every time you procrastinate, by the time you finally do it, do you not tell yourself, oh, I could have done that weeks ago. If I just, that wasn't that bad. Exactly, Your Majesty. It's never as bad as you make it out to be in your head. So you have to drown out the negative thoughts, um, the negative what ifs with music that makes you feel like the queen that you are, like the baddie that you are. Drown it out and get it done. Yes, yes. Sometimes fear feels like a panic attack. And in those instances, we need to talk to somebody. We need help. Someone who is licensed and trained in how to talk somebody through a panic attack. Someone who can give you the tools necessary, or sometimes the medical aid necessary in order to work through that. There are ways to talk yourself through a panic attack. I think counting. I think using your senses, so looking around for something that you can see, something that you can hear, something that you can feel, something that you can smell, something that you can taste. However, I would always say that if it's getting to the point where your heart is moving faster than it should be, you need to talk to somebody. Definitely. And if you don't have anyone to talk to at the moment, there are hotlines that you can call. There are uh, uh, anonymous Reddit boards and uh, websites that you can go and talk to. ChatGPT. If you can't afford to talk to a therapist, if you don't have anyone in your life right now, ChatGPT is not the best person to talk to. It should be the very last resort. However, if you have nobody and you don't have a phone to call a hotline, talk to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will talk you down and talk you off the ledge. Okay? And then finally, fear can look like uh, reverting back to your old habits. And sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need that. When a pitcher in baseball goes to throw their pitch, they take their baseball, right? And you always see them look back and then throw. When you are using a slingshot, you have to pull whatever it is you're slinging back first, so that and the further back you pull it, the further whatever's being slung slings, right? Sometimes you need to take that step back and realize that that's not you anymore. Realize that that's not what you want anymore. Realize that your goals and your dreams are way more important, way more valuable to you now than the 2 minutes of happiness and joy you get from those old habits, right? And so we saw this with Louise when she got in the car and she was on her way home, but she was going to miss out on her goal of feeding the sharks. She was like, this doesn't feel good. And although I'm still scared and still terrified, I would rather do this thing that scares and terrifies me so that I can feed sharks than go home and do what I normally do, which is poop at home and miss out on this goal that I've worked so hard to obtain. Same thing with me. Friday night, I reverted back to my old habit of pigging out and pigged out. And I realized when I woke up, I don't like feeling like this. This is not me anymore. This is not how I like to feel. I do not like to toss and turn every night. When I'm on routine, when I'm doing the 75 hard task, I'm sleeping like a baby, right? And waking up with heartburn and dry cotton, cotton stank mouth, yuck mouth. That's not who we are. We like to smell like vanilla. We like to smell edible. We like to smell like fresh baked cookies, not like nastiness. And then I thought, is this someone who is supposed to be a standout, upstanding, um, uh, uh, what is that term? What is that word that I'm looking for? Is this example to the queens in the 4B queendom? Is this what an example for going after your goals and your dreams and helping you reach past your struggles for your goals and your dreams? Is this what someone who does that, who runs the 4B queendom, does? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I pride myself on building a queendom where I am walking the walk and not just talking the talk and not just telling you what to do, but we're doing this, we're in this together and showing you that we are in this together, right? Showing you, not just telling you that you can reach your goals if you do X, Y, and Z. And so now I know that it's time to get back and down to business. And the body is looking good right now. Like, I'm looking good. Even in the face, you can see it. Like, no, I'm not going back. I'm not, I refuse. So even though I'm terrified of what being an example it means, of what reaching all of my goals will look like, of all the work I'm gonna have to do and keep up and maintain, I'm still would rather do that and face those fears than go back to being depressed and sad and anxious and unhappy with the way that I look and feel. Right? So it's okay sometimes to revert back to those old habits because you need that moment of clarity, that moment to reaffirm yourself, that moment to recommit to your why. And what is my why? Excuse me, my why is I deserve to see what my life looks like on the other side of my goals. My goals have been the same since 2012 and earlier. It is now 2025. I deserve to see what my life looks like on the other side of my goals. And I know it's just going to be glorious. I deserve to see that. I deserve to feel that. I deserve to live that. And so I am going to work through my fears. Even though I'm terrified, I'm still going to keep going. I'm going to listen to my power playlist. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to journal. I am going to rework my mind and reconfigure my mind to think more positive than negative. I'm going to work on my visualization. I'm going to do my 75 hard tasks every day. I'm going to sit up here and commit to speaking to you every single Sunday for the podcast. I'm going to commit to posting every single day on TikTok and Instagram to remind you of who you are and show you that you can become whoever and do whatever if you do these things every single day. I am committed to seeing my goals and bringing my goals into this timeline, into this here and now. And I don't care if fear is involved. And here's the thing, Your Majesty, you will learn not to care. You will learn to keep going even in the face of fear. You will learn to That's scary. That's terrifying. But do it anyways. The fear will become less of a roadblock, less of a feeling. It will feel less and less fearful the more you train yourself and your body to do it anyways. And the next thing you know, you're out here living your best life, doing your thug thizzle for shizzle my nizzle, reaching for new goals, reaching for new dreams, feeling fear every single day, and still moving forward in spite of it. To recap, fear is inevitable, especially when you're doing something different, going against the grain, and working towards a life that you know you deserve to live. Working towards your goals, working towards your dreams, you are going to feel fear. How are you going to feel that fear? It hits us in multiple different ways, depending on who we are, depending on our goals, depending on our dreams. But some ways that you can recognize it is through procrastination, through anxiety. It may feel like a panic attack. And if you feel the need to revert back to old habits, you know that you are dealing with fear. I gave you some tips, some tools on how to work through each and every single one of those instances. If you need help, it is okay. It is okay for you to seek help. There are so many people who are going after their goals and their dreams and living their best lives because they sought help and they got medication. Sometimes you need a partner in crime to get through it. And that is okay. Look at me when I tell you, Your Majesty, that is okay. And if for some reason you can't afford help, you can't find a hotline in your area, the very last resort, because it's not the best resort, but in a bind, ChatGPT is a great tool that you can use, right? Praying, meditating, journaling, using your affirmations. Using your affirmations. Create your power playlist, right? And when you feel the anxiety forcing you to paralyzing you, when you feel the procrastination taking over, pop in your power playlist, listen to it over and over and over again until you have drowned out the negative what ifs, the fearful what ifs, and do it anyways, Your Majesty. Because trust and believe, just like last time, and the time before that, and the time before that, once you do it, even though you are scared, even though you are terrified, even though you feel like there is no way through, once you do it, because you always end up doing it, right? Once you do it, you're going to be like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. You're making up things in your head that are way worse than what is actually going to happen, Your Majesty. I promise you. I promise you. So, on top of your goals for this week, your goal is to define what fear looks like to you. And then put together a plan, an emergency plan for when that fear hits next. Put together an emergency plan. If your emergency plan is to create a power playlist, go ahead, big dog. Put together that power playlist. So that the next time that fear hits, because you know it will, it's just a part of the process. The next time that fear hits, you pop in that power playlist and you drown it out and you get it done anyways. Yeah? So your goal is to define what fear looks like to you and put together an emergency plan to tackle it head first, head on the next time it strikes. And yes, that is our conversation for today, Your Majesty. So tell me, on top of defining your fear and putting together an emergency plan, what are your goals for the week ahead? I am so excited to see what you plan on doing. Tell me, Your Majesty, what are your goals for next week? Yes. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. I'm also, if no one's told you this, Your Majesty, I am proud, damn proud. Just from episode one, conversation one, up until now, the growth, you are glowing, Your Majesty. I am so proud of you, so very proud of you. And I cannot wait to see how you slay those goals this week. I'm so excited to see and talk to you next week. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. You're going to hit every single one of those. I just know it. I already feel it. I already see it. Do you feel it? Exactly. That's what I love to hear, Your Majesty. Positivity. Yes, yes, yes. It sounds corny. It sounds cliche. It sounds so simple. But if we do it, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, my goals. Tomorrow, even though we have, as of tomorrow, will be 8 days left of the break, my 75-hour break, I am going to move forward as if I'm already starting phase two tomorrow. It's done deal. Working out at work, at the gym, at work. Going to eat the same thing every single day at the same time every single day. Yes. And what else? Get back to reading. Because right now it's just a waiting game. Just waiting for the offer to come through in the email. We are offering you this position, this higher position for this much more money. And I am manifesting that they'll offer me what I want. And so, yeah, I'll still negotiate, but just because I don't want to look easy, I don't want it to make it too easy for you, and I want a signing bonus. So I will negotiate, but I'm manifesting that they'll offer me what I want. The number's already there. I've already told the universe. I've already visualized it. That's what I'm bringing from some of that other timeline in the world where I already have it. That's what I'm bringing forth into this here and this now and this present moment. And so while I wait, I'm going to start taking care of myself, going to start reading again, and planning my birthday. I am going to Disney World next month for my 33rd birthday. I'm at Disneyland. I'll be at Disneyland later on today. I'm at Disneyland every weekend. But I've never been to Disney World. So I'm excited. I bought my plane tickets yesterday. And so now just planning the rest of the vacation. So I'm excited for that. Those are my goals for this week, Your Majesty. Thank you so much for allowing me into your home, for sitting down and chatting with me while you prepared for your next week. I hope I inspired and motivated you into reaching your goals for this week. And I hope that you'll take some time to again define what fear looks like to you and create an emergency plan for the next time that it hits. I am so proud of you. And as always, I think you are magnificent. I think you are powerful. And I think you are purposeful. And I just cannot wait till our conversation next week to hear just how you slayed your goals this week. I am so excited for you. And I am so incredibly proud of you, Your Majesty. I will see you again next time, next week, same place, same time. And I hope you have a week that's just as magnificent as you are. Okay? Alrighty, Your Majesty. That's it for today. Bye.